Success is widely misunderstood. It's too tempting, too fancy, and too deceiving. It brings new allies, people who belittle and agonized you, now want to be on your good list. Suddenly the world that mocked you before flatters you now. At times like these, don't forget where you rose from. You took your flight when you were at the bottom. You crashed and got hurt more times than you can count on your fingers. And the world today only sees you flying up in the skies. They would never see how impossible it seemed when you took your first flight with your broken wings. When people who had power over you crushed your wings and sent you to a pit of self-hatred. They would never see how despair wrapped itself around you, how no one believed in you, and how you were the only one who believed in what you were striving for. It was then you learned to fly. With whatever you had left in you, you made it happen. Now if someone tells you you just got lucky, don't let them talk you into it. Tell them the harder you worked, the more luck you got. Tell them the more impossible it seemed, the harder you tried. Tell them the more times you fell, the less it hurt. Tell them the more people who mocked you, the stronger your passion became. Tell them the more doors life closed on you, the more you built the courage to break through those doors. You know your journey better than anyone else does. You know the days and nights you put into it, the restraint it demanded, the discipline it required. You sacrificed everything you held precious when your success asked for it. So now where you stand in life, know that you have worked for it. You have worked tirelessly to beat that failure mindset, to set yourself free from the chains of doubt and fear. You have worked passionately to reach where you are, and you don't plan to stop anytime soon. You want to keep growing and keep hustling, and that doesn't make sense to people who don't share your vision. Your curiosity, your consistency, and your efforts seem too much to mediocre minds. Don't let that make you become ordinary again. Success wasn't showered upon you. You worked to deserve it. The first step you took was to overcome the power the external world had over you. You lacked finances. You were taken for granted when you were emotional. You got deceived when you were kind. You worked on all those things to set yourself free from the chains of dependency. You still have a heart that cares, that is still kind. But now you no longer put efforts to be nice when you shouldn't. You have set boundaries for yourself that protect you, that will never allow anyone to infiltrate inside your mind and mess with it without your consent. You have developed an understanding that your self-esteem and self-belief have nothing to do with success or failures. You have reached a point where your opinion of yourself is independent of things like these. You have seen the extremes of high and the extremes of low. You now know that nothing in life is permanent. Your downfalls see a sunrise, and your success eventually sets too. You have made peace with this fact, and it doesn't make you restless or afraid anymore. Reaching at the top is not as big of a deal as sustaining there is. You won't be able to sustain it if you are constantly scared of losing what you have gained. Only when you set yourself free from the fear of losing, you become truly fearless. Only when you stop seeking power to gain control, you become truly fearless. Those who seek power want to use it to have control over others. You are a champion because exercising power over the weak never intrigued you. You manifest power, so no one can manipulate you into a life you have worked so hard to get away from. You manifest power, so you can say no to things and to people who are hell-bent to take you away from your values and to break down the mindset that you have worked so hard to maintain. Remember, when you are the one in charge of your mind, your money, and your emotions, they can no longer manipulate you. Remember, a debt of any kind is a cage, and as long as you're caged, you can never explore your true potential. The first step to freedom is to take charge. Take charge of your finances, your emotions, and your mindset. Don't get yourself in a scenario where you have to give up that charge. Even at times when you are made to trade your freedom for something more tempting, remember the days you tirelessly worked to be where you are in life. If you sort your finances, you will be in a much better position to take risks. If you sort your finances, they will know you have your priorities straight. The fastest way to burn money is to spend on things you don't need. The fastest way to burn money is to spend it to impress others. Be wise with how you use it. Make your money work for you. Don't let it rot and sit idle. Find a way to keep it in motion. Remember, you will be able to exercise balance in the external world when the world inside you is in sync. If there's turbulence in there, if there's chaos inside you, you won't succeed in maintaining peace outside. Before you go out there and chase your dreams, make sure only you have influence over your mind. Before you choose your path, make sure only you have influence over your mind.